Glenn Payne is a photographer with Metrosphere magazine, where he's covered everything from Burning Man to Standing Rock and the Women's March on Denver. Prior to his work at the magazine, he's been a student at MSU. He's a student at MSU Denver. Glenn was a Marine Corps photographer and served 2 tours in Afghanistan. Here to share some of what he's seen and shot on and off campus is Glenn Payne. Hello, sir. How are you?
Good. How are you guys doing today?
Thanks for being here.
Yeah,
We appreciate this.
me.
Yeah. So normally I know that you're, as a photographer, your comfort zone is behind the camera.
Yeah, I'm
right?
still kind of behind.
And
it
you
right
are
now.
in your own way. Yeah. So what is this one that you have here? This is special.
This is my Leica that I got last March.
Mm-hmm.
I spent a lot of money on it, and then it's just, I don't recommend getting it because you don't want to use any other camera afterwards.
You don't.
Yeah,
It spoils
it's
you.
just-
All the
it's just
photographers watching at home are geeking out on that for
Yeah.
sure. So first, I wanted to congratulate you. The SPJ Mark of Excellence nominations just came out, and you and Dana Himmett, who went to Burning Man,
Yes.
and you shot the cover of Burning Man for our issue that came out in November, and that's been nominated for. You're a finalist.
Yeah, that's exciting.
Yeah.
The Burning Man story was a lot of work building up to it, and a lot of work out there. Especially, it was very challenging, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm glad people like the story and they like the photos.
Well, we had Dana on last week, and so
Yeah.
Dana had been to Burning Man before, so she kind of knew what to expect.
Yeah.
She tried to get you up to speed on that, but it was pretty shocking,
it's still
right,
daunting.
when you got there?
Yeah, it's a challenge. I went for my first one and tried to cover it, and I think I did the best of my abilities for not really knowing how the festival lifestyle is.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a lot of fun. The art out there is amazing, and it's just a really great place for self-reflection and stuff like that.
Well, and you had a great experience. So tell us about, you were gifted with something. Gifting and sharing is a big part of Burning Man, and you received something when you were out there.
It was really nice. I think it was like one of the last days that I was there. One of my camp mates had made a wooden Polaroid frame from. They have one of the build sites where you can just use random wood and stuff like that. And
Mm-hmm.
they made me like a wooden frame to go out and take pictures of people with. So
Yeah.
that was nice. And it looked like they were holding like a Polaroid.
That's so cool.
Yeah, so that wrapped up the fashion section in the
Yeah.
magazine. We had all the different
that's awesome.
about
Yeah.
town Burning Man
Yeah.
shots with that. So going from Burning Man, then you went to another pretty big adventure with 3 other journalists. You
Yeah.
were in Standing Rock. So tell us about that.
Standing Rock was interesting in its own way. It was challenging in different ways than Burning Man was, just because we had a little bit of difficulty getting up there. Our car broke down, so that slowed us down on the way up. And then once we got there, it was just a weird environment with the law enforcement and things going on at the camps. A lot of drones cutting off like cell service and monitoring people's signal going back out and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
But it was a nice place where, because we were there on the weekend, and the weekends were a little bit calmer, and we got to see a lot of like the ceremonies that they have. But you can't take pictures of that stuff. It's against the native rules.
And the reception was a little mixed, right? So not
Yeah.
everyone was a fan of seeing media,
Yeah,
even student journalists.
There were some people that were really happy that we were there trying to get their story out, and then there were some people that thought we were there to make up our own story about what was going on or show something the opposite of what was happening. So it was kind of funny. Myself as a photojournalist, I just try to take pictures of what's happening and show people the truth in that sense. So when that happened, I was just like, oh, okay. I can't really change your opinion on that. So
Sure.
but yeah, it was a lot of it was educational.
It was, yeah. Well, and speaking of, your education with how you got into photography and what led you on this path, you're a veteran, you
Yes.
served in the Marine Corps, and your job in the Marine Corps was?
I was a combat photographer in the Marine Corps. I did that for 5 years. I didn't do photography beforehand, so
You kind of
it was
just
a crash
jumped into
course.
it.
Yeah, I liked reading the newspaper a lot in high school and stuff like that. And when it came to picking jobs, I saw that and it's like, I'll give it a shot. I don't know if you've ever seen Full Metal Jacket.
I haven't. Have you seen that?
It's about a combat correspondent and a photographer in Vietnam and stuff like that. And a lot of people like the boot camp scenes in the first half of the movie, but I relate to the other
It was
half.
the photography that caught your eye.
So.
Was it accurate? I mean, did it feel like it gave a pretty clear depiction about what you went through?
In
or?
a sense, I relate to that movie very well because when you attach with a Marine infantry unit, you kind of have to have thick skin because at first some people aren't accepting to you just because you're a different job than them, and some people don't like media or taking pictures of them in the infantry. But after you're there for a while and you have to like let them know, like, hey, I'm doing everything you guys are doing, but I'm taking pictures, they start to accept you, so it's nice.
Yeah. So what's next for you? I know that you're always shooting and you're always.
Yeah. Well, right now I'm starting. I'm planning things for a San Francisco trip in 2 weeks. I'm going to be helping out with the social documentary class that's going out there.
And this is your second time?
Second time in San Francisco, yes. So that would be a lot of fun.
Are there stories on your radar that you're wanting to shoot, or are you just kind of going with an open mind of?
Right now I have 2 stories that I'm trying to work out. One is about the sanctuary churches in San Francisco.
Okay.
And the other is kind of a follow-up to Burning Man. I reached out to some burners that are still working on projects for this year's Burning Man. Because a lot of burners live in the Bay Area, so yeah, try to see what they're up to and what kind of cool art creations they're making.
Very cool, very cool. And then locally, what are your favorite things to shoot? I know you were at the Women's March, you shot some of that.
Women's March, I mean, anything going on downtown. I try to stick around the 16th Street, Civic Center Park area as much as possible just because it's really
There's
beautiful.
always something to
and
see
the
there.
skyline, yeah.
So, yeah.
And there's a lot of interesting people going through that area, so if I can just hang out there for like a couple hours a day or so and just make a new acquaintance while I'm taking a picture of someone, it's fun.
Awesome.
And what's the plan for after you graduate? Where would you like to?
That's a good question. After I graduate, I don't know. I'm not so sure I want to continue into the photojournalist newspaper route. I think I want to take some time off and try to make my own books, travel a little bit, and see what I can do.
That's exciting. Well, we'll still stay tuned to see what's next from you.
Sure.
Thanks again.
Thank you.
Thank you.